Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here with our first episode of Obsessed with Caddy and Christy using the Dear Lizzy documentary, which is this right here. It's so pretty. It's just like, it's candy to a scrapbooker's eye. If you haven't used it yet, if it's sitting in your stash, dig it out because, oh, it's so pretty. So this week we are going to follow a sketch. And it is really cool. It's from a Pebbles design team, I believe. And I love it. So there's two photos here, bits of embellishment here. Very simple, very modern. To me, this looks very modern. So I'm really excited to use it. And it's Pebbles, it's a page maps for Pebbles. That's what the sketch is. And, oh look, right here. May page maps, etc. sketch number 2. So I believe that Caddy found this sketch, and so she found it on scrapbook.com. So there's that. Here are the pattern papers we're using this week. This really pretty polka dot and teal, the floral, the black and white and gray, and the wood grain. I got to choose these ones, so I'm pretty excited. They're so pretty. And I do have them in 12 by 12. So I have the wood grain in 12 by 12. The big polka dot and the floral. So I also have that to use. And I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. I've been really leaning towards more of using white for my background and then adding the pattern papers. That's kind of been my thing lately. So we'll see. Although I kind of really like this. So we might do that. And I don't love that, but I like it the other way. And that's too light. So it'll probably go, I'm kind of liking this. So maybe we'll play off of that. Anyways, this is what I'm starting with, and I'll get you guys put on fast forward so you can watch my process.
Alright everyone, so it is a very early on a Thursday morning, and I'm ready to do this recording for you guys. I'm going to start by taking the pattern paper and backing it, the first color, the polka dot one, on the wood grain. And then I'm going to take my 6x6 pad and use the really pretty floral to do the third of the page, or sorry, yeah, a third of the page sort of thing. It's probably actually a little less, but around that. And then I just add a little strip of the black and white stripe. Really pretty, but now I already have the 4 pieces of pattern paper on my layout. So that makes me happy. That's done, and that part of the challenge is all done. I'm playing around with these 2 photos, and I'm just kind of going through the ephemera pack, trying to decide what I want to do. And in the end, I'm going to scrap these photos. That doesn't make sense. I'm not going to use these photos. There's a story behind them that's not the best story, and it turns out great, but it's not the best story ever. And it was definitely, I was having a mental block trying to use those photos. So instead, I'm going to use that photo, rotate my layout, and follow the sketch more closely, because I was definitely having some issues, and I find when I'm getting stuck, the best thing to do is just go and just follow the sketch more exactly. So I knew I wanted just a little white spot for some embellishment, so I just took a piece of the black striped 6x6 and flipped it over so I have the white. And now I'm trying to decide if I want to use, I have 2 strips from the pattern papers. I use the 12 by 12s, and one of them is a really pretty polka dot, just like the big pattern, except it's smaller and a little lighter, and the other one's kind of got some red in it. So I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. And sorry, you're going to see Jackson's hand in here for a couple minutes. He was helping me scrap the morning I was doing this. And so I've added a little banner in the black and white stripe, and now I'm going to pull out just a couple pieces and see what I can use. I like this sticker, and it says "The future is bright," and I thought that was perfect, and it was fitting as I'm talking about changing jobs and how I went from, like, I just knew it was time to move on from my first job in dentistry to the job I'm at now. And I really wanted to document that change, so I thought that sticker was very fitting. And I'm going to just trim this border strip And this is the color I'm going to use. It's kind of it almost is a little red to it. It's really pretty though. And I'm going to use that one. And I think that it just kind of helped pop up some colors there versus the stripe. So now I'm really stuck and I'm thinking and I'm like, I don't know what to do now. I don't know where my title should go. I just don't know. So you see my hand moving a lot. And what I ended up doing was just sticking everything down, going to look at my transparencies that I own, and decided that I really like this one. It kind of goes with the color theme. It's got some hearts on it that I can use in a non like lovey-dovey way, so I like that. And I'm just going to place it right on my photo. And then I'm going to show you how I was fixing my thickers. But the thing is I originally thought that my thickers would look really good beside my photo. And so I'm going to, like, I originally was going to title this Change is Good. But when I did that afterwards, like I was doing it off camera, well, it was on camera, but I cut it out. And I couldn't make it fit. It wasn't working, but I was using yellow to help tie in the pattern paper at the top. I thought it would work. Oh, excuse me, it's so early in the morning here right now, and it doesn't work. So instead, I'm going to just move it up and put it right above my future is bright. I am kind of covering the word bright with the G, but to me, that's fine. I know what it says. And I'm now going to pull in some of these. I have the hardest time embellishing this layout. This layout took me way longer than it ever should have. It was crazy. And I'm going to add a bunch of things. I have this little brad, and I know it's really hard to see on camera, but it is a light bulb. And I thought, oh, well, future is bright light bulb. Like, I thought it really tied in. So I really, really wanted to use it. But to figure out where it needed to go was taking me forever. I could not place it in anywhere that I liked it. And so I was frustrated. But it does actually end up making it onto the page, but it does take me a while. I keep moving everything around, as you can see here. And the other problem is these awesome little wood, I'm not even sure what they are. They're not really buttons, but they're from the Dear Lizzy line, but they have stickiness on the back of them already, and they're really sticky. So when you place them down and then you're like, oh no, I don't like that there, I would like to move it, I found I was ripping up my pattern paper. So I had to be kind of careful, and I did rip a couple places, but it all got covered up, so it wasn't a big deal. I am going to add a little paper clip to the top, and because that's just a little tiny strip, you can tell that it's a paper clip. Like, you can see the bottom of the clip part of it. And then I add one of those little wood veneer button sort of like things. And then I add another one to the side of my photo and one at the bottom. So it does change. I am going to just use two of them so I can use the light bulb, and you'll see that there. I then decided I needed to bridge the gap between that ampersand and my little banner right there, because there was just too much and you could see the blue behind it, and they didn't look like they belonged together. It just looked very disjointed. So I tried to add this sticker. I'm so sorry. I can't stop yawning. I'm trying to add this sticker, but it still wasn't working. So I ended up moving the banner over a little bit more, and that helped. And then I'm bridging the gap that way at that moment. And then I'm gonna try and add the blue one as well. But this is what I'm like, oh, it's not working. I do like the idea of the light bulb there, so I'm like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Of course, I had moved that button and it ripped my layout. So I am going just to do the messy thread effect to kind of help hide any of those imperfections, and that always works well. You can't even tell that I ever ripped up the paper to begin with. And then I also added a little bit of journaling. It's not journaling like within my words, I just added a little quote there. And then I'm going to add my journaling as hidden journaling. I originally was going to do it as like a tag or something, but I'm realizing as I was trying to figure out where I wanted it to go, the way this layout is made, I would never be able to cut a slit in my page protector to make it work, and because it would be so strange and it would just fall out of the album. So I'm just going to do it so that it's behind my photo, like the whole layout, and you just just make a little pocket for it to slide out of. And I'll just talk about the change on what I like. So that's my layout. Don't forget to go check out Caddies because it's going to be great, and we'll be back in a couple weeks.